Our story picks up a few weeks after the Saiyans invaded Earth. Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan arrive first to planet Namek and learn that a small army of powerful enemies, wearing the same armor as Vegeta, are on the planet as well, searching for the Dragon Balls. There on the planet, Gohan and Krillin save a young Namekian named Dende after defeating a few foes. By now, the duo had grown quite powerful. Krillin, since his time on Earth, had developed a power nearing that of Nappa. As for Gohan, his power, thanks to half Saiyan blood, was potentially even stronger. Saving Dende, they would join him in finding their elder Namekian Guru and the strong warrior Nail. With their potential then unlocked, they would set out to find the Dragon Balls. As for Vegeta, he was also on planet now healed and had his own plans to collect the Dragon Balls. But he'd have to act smart, for Frieza, the Emperor of the Universe, was also on world. First thing Vegeta would do is defeat and kill Apul in combat. In doing so, he would draw out Doria, and in single combat, Vegeta would destroy him after learning that it was Frieza who destroyed his homeworld and father. This would give Vegeta a sense of pride and a new drive for his mission. If Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta because he feared the legendary Super Saiyan, then that's who Vegeta would become. Then, after initially losing to Zarbon, in combat after Zarbon's surprising transformation, a newly healed and Zenkai boosted Vegeta would make short work of Zarbon, taking and hiding the Dragon Balls for himself, after destroying Frieza's scouters. Frieza, though, would not take these setbacks lightly. Frieza would call in his Ginyu force, with more scouters, to rid himself of Vegeta in his presence. Fearing he's not yet ready to fight the entire Ginyu force on his own, Vegeta would reluctantly join forces with Krillin and Gohan and hope they can last until the arrival of the others. Traveling through the stars and their own ship, 3 Saiyan warriors, Goku, Nappa, and Raditz, train and prepare themselves for the fight of their lives. On the ship, the 3 warriors live and train in the gravity chamber. At first, it was a struggle for Raditz and Nappa, but thanks to their Saiyan blood and adaptability, they soon became accustomed to it. The 3 warriors would often, in high gravity, engage in free-for-all combat, with each other going until their breaking point before finally resting and letting themselves heal. Their powers would more than triple than their battle on Earth, and Goku would more than quadruple. Eventually, the trio would arrive on world to aid their comrades. They soon joined the battle just in time, as Krillin and Gohan together had defeated Guldo, yet the 3 would find themselves at the mercy of Raccoon. The Ginyu Force was now toying with Vegeta and the Earthlings, their power just not being enough. Yet just before Vegeta is given the final death blow, an energy blast separates them. Vegeta is shocked along with the others to see Nappa arriving first. He would tell Vegeta to rest as he'd been training for this very fight. The 2 largest brutes of each side stood eye to eye. Raccoon would attempt to mock Nappa, but would be suddenly silenced by the shocking headbutt Nappa would deliver to his face. Ginyu would then notice that Nappa's power level would spike to nearly that of Raccoon's. The 2 would then exchange a barrage of punches and blows, shaking the ground around them. Vegeta would be shocked to see Nappa's growth, noticing that he was now just as strong as him. Goku would then give Vegeta a Senzu Bean, helping him heal. Eventually, Vegeta would demand that if Nappa was so strong now, he should stop playing with his food and just end the fight. Nappa would laugh and power up and get Raccoon in a headlock. The large brute would attempt to break free, but after some struggle, Nappa would snap his neck. The battle won. The Ginyu Force, now having lost 2 members, would begin to question how the Saiyan warriors had become so powerful, though they would have little time to think on it, as the next bout was about to begin. Raditz stepped forward to face Jace. The 2 would blitz one another, and their speed would cause Vegeta to gasp at Raditz's growth as well. First Nappa, and now him. Just how on Earth had they grown so strong? Worst of them, Goku had just casually standing there. His power was obviously near that of Ginyu's without even powering up. Suddenly Jace would appear in front of Vegeta, but with Raditz holding him by the head, shoving him into the ground. Raditz would then blast Jace away into dust, having suffered little damage. The duo of Nappa and Raditz would then feel confident enough and charge after Burter, the 3 engaging in the battle. Captain Ginyu would then be forced to begin a battle with Goku. Seeing his chance, Vegeta would fly off, heading towards Frieza's ship to gather the Dragon Balls. As for Gohan and Krillin, knowing they needed Dende, would head back to get him so that they could summon the dragon. Back in the fight, while Burter had surprising speed, fighting both Raditz and Nappa proved to be quite complicated, as their training in the gravity chamber boosted their speed greatly. Finally, though, Nappa would catch Burter and hold him from behind, as Raditz punched through his armor into his gut. As Burter fell, Nappa would finish him by driving his foot into his neck, killing him. With most of the Ginyu force defeated, the combined effort of the three Saiyans would overwhelm Captain Ginyu, forcing him to flee back to Frieza's ship. Surprisingly, though, Captain Ginyu would be unable to switch bodies with anyone, as Vegeta, having gotten another Zenkai boost, would ambush and kill Captain Ginyu. With time on their side, now the four Saiyans would take time to rest and take turns in the ship healing chamber. First would be Nappa, the second Raditz, followed by Vegeta, who while he was in the healing chamber, the other would use a chance to use the Dragon Balls. They would summon Purunga, the Namekian dragon, and wish for Piccolo back to life, using their second wish to bring Piccolo back to Namek. Yet before they could make their final wish, Other Guru would pass and the Dragon Balls unusable. Yet they had succeeded in their plan. Vegeta would exit the chamber and meet the others just in time to face the coming nightmare. Frieza had returned just in time to see the Dragon Balls turn to stone. His growing anger and power would shake the planet. Goku was still in the healing chamber, and so it seemed the others would have to hold the line until he was healed. Vegeta didn't like the deal of it, but there was no denying that he was the strongest amongst them. Pride can wait for now. It was time to be smart. The three Saiyans would power up to their max to Frieza's delight that the three of them combined were actually posing a threat to him in terms of power level. Yet just as the battle would begin, Frieza informed them all that he could still transform 3 more times, each one more powerful than the one before. A disheartening thing to learn, yet the warrior blood of the Saiyans would not falter today. The three would resign themselves to their supposed final battle to avenge their race. With a final smirk, Nappa would raise 2 fingers in an erupting blast. The battle would begin, with Raditz and Nappa rushing Frieza to Vegeta's surprise. Even Frieza would take note that these Saiyans defeated the Ginyu force. Vegeta would then see Krillin and Gohan also power up and join the fray. Seeing what he saw as lesser warriors commit to battle that he himself would be afraid to join stung his pride. He would not be shown up by the others, and Vegeta would join the fight. The 5-on-1 would look like shimmers of movement to Dende, but everything would come to a sudden halt as Vegeta would suddenly land a punch on Frieza's face. The others panting would also be shocked by the blow. Frieza, though, would simply smirk before his smile would fade. Cursing the monkeys that stood before him, Frieza would transform into his second state. His size and power level will cause each of the warriors to shake and tremble, all except Nappa, who would foolishly press the attack, only it would be in vain as Frieza would break his arms and then ram his horns into his chest. Raditz would then call out for Nappa, but would take a kick to the neck, dropping him. Frieza would then fly to Vegeta point blank, blasting him with a massive ki blast, the 3 strongest of the group taken out. All hope seemed lost until Piccolo arrived. The Namekian, having absorbed Nail, made him extremely powerful. His current form rivaled even that of Frieza's, as the two began going blow for blow. With the fight raging on, Dende would be able to heal both Vegeta and Raditz, but before he could save Nappa, Frieza, noticing what was going on, would kill Dende. With Dende gone, and their ability to heal the Z-Warriors and Saiyans were now on the back foot. Wanting to outright destroy the vermin in front of him, Frieza would transform once more, his power much stronger than that of Piccolo's. Raditz, seeing Piccolo struggle to keep up, would join in, and the two, for a brief moment, would work together, but Frieza's power would be too much. Finally, after having enough fun, Frieza would transform into his final form. It would be at this time Goku would arrive. Vegeta, feeling Goku's power, would then comment that Frieza's time has come, as the Super Saiyan now stood before him. Having enough of Vegeta's talk, Frieza would instantly kill him. The final battle would begin. Final form Frieza against Goku, Krillin, Gohan, Piccolo, and Raditz. The battle would begin brutal, and the others would do little to aid as Goku and Frieza went all out. Eventually Goku would be forced to use the Spirit Bomb. Piccolo and Raditz would commit to defending him while he charged up. It would be here Raditz would make the sacrifice to save Piccolo from Frieza's attack, knowing if Piccolo died, they would lose the Dragon Balls on Earth again. Blasting Frieza with the Spirit Bomb, the Z-Warriors would believe they had won. That is, until Frieza gets back up, and in one quick motion kills Krillin in front of Goku. Having once again lost his best friend, and the pain of losing the others, Goku would finally transform into a Super Saiyan. With this new mighty power, Goku and Frieza would face off for the final time before the planet's destruction. Meanwhile on Earth, they would wish for everyone who had died on Namek back to life, then using the Namek Dragon Balls, wishing all the Namekians and Z-Warriors back to Earth as Goku and Frieza finished their fight. Goku would eventually defeat Frieza and save the universe, deciding to spend some time training on the planet of Yardrat afterwards from fleeing the planet's destruction. Yet this would not be the last time we follow the Z-Warriors. The coming days would go, and a year would pass. A new threat would emerge, along with a familiar foe, and even a new hero. And that's going to wrap up today's episode of What If Wednesdays as we continue on this alternate timeline of Dragon Ball that started off with what if Raditz became a hero, to what if Raditz and Nappa fought the Ginyu Force. But yeah, with finishing up the Frieza and Namekian arc, what we have next is the Android arc. But yeah, that might come out a little later because I have a bunch of other what ifs coming out soon. So yeah, if you guys like the video, go ahead and leave a comment, let me know. If you want to see something else, let me know of that as well. Don't forget to hit the like button, and yeah, if you want to stay up to date, go ahead and subscribe. But yeah, this has been another What If weekend. This is the Galaxy's Cantina. I'm your host, JD, signing off. See ya.
You a poopy bench, liar, liar, pants on fire, can't you let me do my dance? I said, you a poopy bench.